Let's see here. Now I think yeah, okay. Looks like we got a hot mic. All right. So before I had some sound issues, like I was saying. Now should be all good to go. Let me see here. See what's going on. See, make sure my sound is working. I mean, before I was cooking, but you couldn't hear what I was saying, so I had to delete the video. Let me see here. This is other laptop. See, it's not working. Make sure I got some sound. Sure, I'm good to go. So let's see here. So check here. Yeah, it's been a tough week, man. It's been the last 2 weeks, man. I went through like two cars, man. My truck is no longer working, so I don't know. And then now my YouTube is acting crazy on my because I had to get another cell phone because I left my other phone in a Uber. So like now this YouTube is acting crazy. Man, I know a couple weeks ago it was a retrograde, but I think it's still going on. It's a whole bunch of retrogrades going on, and when things get kind of weird, whoever's running tech, whoever's behind tech, I notice things get weird. Like in my job, man, people start acting funny style and stuff like that. um, and when a lot of times of these retrogrades, man, I think it's like Revenge of the Nerds, man. People start acting funny, um, acting different, and I think this is the time that nerds get punched in the face because they start to try to flex their power. This is the time where you see guys, man, they glasses get punched. they get broken noses because it's like, man, okay, you strong now, because like I was saying, I'm gonna do a video about Johnny Come Lately, um, and definitely will explain what I'm talking about further. But let me see here. Oh man, I'm still trying to see if I got sound because I'm not gonna start this. Okay, so I see now that YouTube has caught up. So let me confirm that I got live sound. I see now. Okay, so we good. All right, that's why I just wanted to confirm. So, um, with everything is said and done, I see YouTube has changed their view to their GUI or whatever. They did change their view. They done made it like widescreen widescreen or whatever. I like it. The chat is down below, but it's cut off. So if you got the chat going, you can't even see the video. You can't see the video if you are in the chat. It doesn't sync with the video. I don't know what their methods of that is, but whatever. Okay. Anyway, we're talking about the level of submissions. Okay, the four types. I got 4 types of women, 4 types of submission. Okay, in my own interpretation, this is my interpretation. Before I talk about these 4 types, I'm going to basically talk about the prerequisites. What do I mean by submission? Okay, what do I mean by this? Okay, what I mean by submission is basically, the different types of women in regards to the dynamic of submission. Okay, one thing I'll say is that in a relationship, and I'll try to remember things that I was saying before in the other video, as well as things that I omitted, because a lot of times I'll forget what I was supposed to talk about. But when in regards to submission, you got 4 types of women. You got intolerable, tolerable, and agreeable, and submissive. Okay, and I'm going to break down all 4 of these. And when in regards to submission, the reason why a lot of times this is a topic, okay, or a topic of discussion or issue, I'll first say that this is because this is the caveat to capitalism, caveat to first world problems. Okay, first world problems is, let's just say a first world problem is like, man, I can't find a dog, a particular dog breed, or I can't find or even find a woman that's submissive. That's a first world problem if you really think about it. A lot of times people think of it as a really bad situation, but the reason why it's a first world problem is because you have basically feminism. Okay, feminism is a first world problem, because women are so allowed to be, basically, when I say allow, I mean that by every facet of the imagination, because, and let's just say third world countries or developing countries, women are very dependent on men, okay, financially, security wise, for protection, because basically the next country over, they literally are at the behest of men. I've said that before. In the United States and other Western, countries, the freedom of capitalism and security allows women to go into certain depths of just being able to have the freedom to be like, you know what, I don't really like men, and I don't even want men, and I'm going to make it hard for men. Well, in other countries, that is not, women don't have the liberty or the financial freedom or even security to basically have that notion. Or even if they have the notion, it's very hard for them to implement that, because basically that is a freedom of a first world country. You have to have a certain dynamic for that implementation of mindset to actually go through. Well, fortunately for women that are highly feminist, right? That is a luxury that they have by proxy of capitalism, and also certain levels of security. Let's just say those 2 things. I'm not going to go into depth about that, but that is why you have the topic in the United States, why you have some dude on Broke Genius and other people's channels talking about submission, because it's very much an issue for a lot of men, because like I say, women have a certain level of dynamic where they can pretty much do as they wish, right? Basically, let's just say, uh, do thy will, right? There, women are able to do thy will in the United States, other Western parts of the world, other countries. They're able to do thy will. Well, in other countries that are not so financially capitalist proficient, women are not able to do thy will, right? So that is why the dynamic in the discussion of submission is an issue for men primarily, because you also have the dynamic of male, let's just say male masculine energy that I mentioned before, masculine energy or masculine attention. Men, because of how they think and how they operate, in a lot of cases, just let's just say the simp, right? The simp, right? There's so many simps that's born every day. Men are being bred to be simps, right? To basically be at the bequest of so many women that be so available to men. I mean, so many men that are available to women that basically they're allowed to have a dynamic where basically they're much more needed and valued than men, right? So the problem in the dynamic of that is when it comes to women, they have a hard problem to solve because it's like so much quantity for them, but the quality they can't seem to only get the less quality men to actually do the things that they want them to do, want the other women, the men of quality to do. For example, they want the person that is the quote unquote thug or whatever to be just like the beta male simp that, or even below that zeta male that doesn't have that much money. They want that person that is the Pookie and Ray Ray to have the money and do everything that they want them to do. And, that doesn't work out. A lot of the times the guy that ends up, they end up having a problem with because they're not simping, right? They're not simping out for these women. They know the game and understand it. But the guys that have the money and the jobs, they'll they'll be, in line to be the next simp for these women. But these women don't really want them because till after they maybe be older and have a lot of children, because they just looked at as pushovers. There's no challenge to these men. The men that these women ultimately want are not putting up with the BS that I'm going to be talking about today with the levels of submission. Okay, so that's the dynamic. And then I also want to put out this, right? I know you guys, man, are not, pretty much you're coming into my videos, you're not commenting, you're not watching, but best believe I understand, I know what's going on as far as things, and I could listen to your talking points on your videos and your content. You're literally copying my talking points, copying what I say, and even though you're not giving me any type of commentary, you're actually basically giving yourself up, because if I can notice it, definitely the people that watch my videos, they can notice it too. So you're not fooling anybody. You're definitely not fooling me. But anyway, now that I said that, we're gonna talk about the different types of dynamics of women, and submission. Okay, it's 4 types that I mentioned earlier. Okay, so before I even go into the intolerable woman, I'll say this: a lot of how also women are submissive is through their family dynamic. I look at a lot of things when I talk about these issues as far as interpersonal relationships in society. I'm basically giving a vantage point from a student of sociology, someone that is basically, I was going to school before I went into IT to be basically a therapist, a social worker. So you saying, hold on, we got somebody saying that they can't hear me. Okay, let me try this again, because I heard myself on the playback, but you saying you can't hear me. It might be something wrong with your mic too. Nah, I'm being heard, woman of the past. I just played my my live stream on my other laptop. So might want to check your sound issues on your device. But anywho, like I said, the topic as far as discussion with women in submission, a lot of the women, they look at their mother. They look at their mother as the example of, either they look at their mother as someone that is a pushover and they rebel against if their mother was submissive, or if their mother, was someone that they look up to and they agree with and was submissive, then they ultimately are submissive, right? But most common dynamic, and that's why you have so many women that are, basically on the top tier of this different levels of submission, because there's levels to everything. Okay, it's damn near levels to everything, right? So most of the women that I'm going to be talking about are not truly submissive. They're not submissive in the regard of how you think of submission, total submission, right? And definitely the intolerable woman is not submissive. Okay, and a lot of the intolerable women and women in general, their mother was intolerable. Okay, their mother was the mother that pushed her father away, or did not submit to men, and she watched that. She watched her mom's boyfriends or multiple dudes or whatever the case may be, and then she grows up to be what? Intolerable. Even the mother makes it enticing, right? Because see, we got, I'm looking at this, I'm not looking at this from necessarily a game perspective. This is psychology. This is psychological. I'm looking at this as a psychological breakdown, right? I'm giving you, I'm opening up my lens, my sociological psychological lens, to basically tell you that this is deeper. This is in depth. This is something that is, like I said before, when it comes to the kittens of the mother kitten, that basically she had broke the kitten. Kitten basically was birthed by a cat, female cat, that she had her back was broken, so she could only crawl on her stomach. So her kittens, she ended up birthing kittens, and her kittens were normal as far as their birth. They didn't have any defects, but they watched their mother, okay, crawl on her stomach. So the kittens ended up basically crawling on their stomach. Okay, they just saw their mother and mimicked their mother crawling on her stomach. So then basically she ended up raising kittens that were crawling on their stomach, when normally they could walk on their all fours. But this is how deep this goes. Okay, this goes into, women that are watching their mothers, basically not have a father in the household. Their mothers didn't have a father in the household. So it's an intergenerational upbringing to where now you're dating a woman that's intolerable. And a lot of times, such as myself, even knowing this, this is Tony the Tiger. We're great. You're thinking with the heart on, and you're not necessarily, you don't care about, trying to find out how the mom is, or not even caring about the conversation, what this woman is telling you when you're dating, because you're only like this. So when you're like this, you don't care about, okay, how she was raised. She's telling you everything about her life, what happened. You push that to the side because they're great. So then you end up in this dynamic, such as I've been there. Pretty much, that you get with a woman that's intolerable or tolerable, which I'm going to be talking about next, where she is highly argumentative, get in an argument every day, every 3 days, at least no less than 2 or 3 times a week, combative, highly argumentative, and even violent. Okay. A lot of these women are extremely violent. Okay. It's commonplace nowadays. Okay. So this is the intolerable woman. Okay. Raised in the household, usually mother is intolerable. Father was not around for whatever reason to offset the intolerable behavior. She chased the man away because all the men she dealt with were you have to be very careful nowadays with the dialogue, because a woman will say, my mom dealt with boyfriends that were abusive. In general, that would be how it would sound if you, like, for example, if you dealt with someone and you talk to them and you're in a work setting, or even YouTube or social media, and they don't give you the full background. They don't tell you that their mother was a hyena. Okay. A lot of these women, some people call them German shepherds. I call them hyenas. I'm the first person to actually on YouTube that actually mention hyenas, but the thing is, I don't really care as far as credit, but I was the first person to actually break down the anthropology of animal behavior to humans. And then I, break down those in my videos. But it's like me, a lot of times is everybody hates Chris. Everybody hates me, because I think it's like a union card member. We gonna hate the broke genius, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people have definitely rejected that union card. But niggas steal my talking points and then go to their shit, and the rest is history. But it's okay. But you got hyenas, and then also another term would be a very hateful feminist, right? A lot of these women are intolerable, because a lot of times, instead of fixing the problem is being the person that just deals with their own problems. They try to find a way to fit in society to be accepted. That's literally what people do. They'll try to find a way to fit in society without working on their negative, flaws. Like, for example, I call myself the broke genius. A lot of people feel offended. Okay. They feel absolutely, I by no means, I mean, it's so hilarious. Like, I think that, like, when I post stuff to my social media page, people are like, God damn it, this nigga said I'm broke. So I posted somebody's content on my social media, and it's like a gif in a curse, because it's like, oh damn it, he's saying I'm broke. It's not necessarily I'm saying you broke. It's just a content page. It's not me saying that you're broke. People have this cognitive understanding of brokenness, and I know this is a sidebar, but I got to get this off. You know, the thing is that being broke is actually not that bad as you think. I've broken down that as well, because most people it's very, very hard to not be broke, right? The government, the United States government is broke. Okay, the United States government on paper is what, $16 trillion in debt. The government is already earmarking. People are salivating in their glands, waiting for another stimulus check, right? Okay, another $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Okay, that has to be repaid. That's going towards the basically the debt, the national debt. The national debt is already at, so many trillions of dollars. So I don't understand why people are, don't get me wrong, I harp on, the fact that people are personally broke, right? But it's not the end of the world, because basically the country is broke. A lot of countries in the world are financially insolvent. The U.S. does not have. Okay, they say the last time that the U.S. was actually not, broke or in debt was when Bill Clinton was in office, and the internet was brand new, and the computers were just like the .com era, right? So like 2000s, 1999, stuff like that. So at past tense, the whole country has been, the national debt has been risen substantially over the decades, right? So I don't understand why people feel so bad about personally being broke, when the entire government, the entire country, the freaking national debt, this is a broke country, right? So why do you care about that so bad? Because the thing about it is, okay, it's not a negative thing. Like, I break it down. I mean, I've been poor, but I've also been broke. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be poor. If I start talking poor, because words are very powerful. If I say poor, then that's really, really bad. Because when I bring up the word poor, I'm talking about poverty. Okay. Me right now, I'm not in poverty. Okay. There's been times that I've been struggling with even that, right? But when I talk about that, that's when you want to feel real bad. That's when you want to, it hurts, right? But when I say broke, most people are broke. Most people have a level of debt that is higher than their actual assets or whatever's in their bank account. Okay, so I mean, the thing about it is, it definitely is something of a cause of concern, but most people are broke. They just don't want to admit it. Okay. Literally, some dude made a rap song. It's on my Trade in Music page, man. I mean, I was thinking about starting my video off on it, because I don't know if he was listening to me. It sounded like he was, and that dude's taking off, man. King Myers. I mean, that's gonna be a number one on my Trade Music playlist probably for a while, because you niggas is broke and you don't want to admit it. So, you know what I'm saying? He beat me to it as far as I'm concerned, because I'm actually trying to make me some music as well. But back to the topic, the level of intolerability is a lot higher from the let's just say from the 1950s onward, even further then, because at one particular time, women really had a strong need for men. Okay. The need for men pretty much changed over time through the influx of different, laws, capitalism, just the change of the family dynamic, right? The nuclear family dynamic and all of that, right? So a lot of women, and even more, are pretty much destined to be intolerable. Okay, on the intolerable side, especially if they have no interactions with their father, a positive male role model. If their mother is intolerable, then most likely they will be intolerable. Okay, uh, it's just the law of dynamics. I mean, it just that's how it is. Now, when it comes to tolerable women, okay, tolerable women, that would be women that is not as bad as the intolerable women, but they're just tolerable. Now, here's the thing about that. A lot of dudes have tolerable women. Just tolerable. The average woman nowadays is tolerable. Okay? The average woman is literally just a tolerable woman. Like, she'll, do fuck shit every now and again. Okay? She'll do, stuff that, like, instead of getting an argument like the intolerable woman like 2 or 3 times a week, you might get in an argument with her like a couple times a month or once a month, because she'll do stuff like you guys both agree with monogamy, and you'll see a number in her purse, or you'll see a number in her jeans and shit like that. Now, here's the thing, like, it's guys that they're still into monogamy and stuff like that. I get it, but this is the level of, when I say that type of dynamic, that's a monogamous pretender. Most women are monogamous pretenders. Okay, like, I ain't gonna give everything away, but yeah, I do have some fucking game. Okay, now I ain't necessarily no dating coach, but here's the thing. If y'all like, okay, it's a woman that, I ain't gonna give her away, but she was in California. She bought my SMV calculator. She wanted an SMV report, and she was my first person to actually buy the SMV calculator, and I sent her a very honest report. Now, let's just say a whole bunch of people bought that. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll give everybody a report that paid for it. And then it's primarily for women. And then the thing is that, and the reason why I did that is because I was watching a long time ago. I was watching Kevin Samuel's show. I don't really watch. Man, dude is on another stratosphere as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I was watching it. I watched one of his lives last night. He got it where it's just members only that's chatting, and it's still fast. He's grabbing the bull by the horns and he's steering it. I mean, so the thing is that I made a joke and I was like, you know what? Because there's so many women that are so delusional and they don't understand their SMV, let me just make a calculator. You know what I'm saying? I ain't nothing but a website designer, website coder. I mean, that's what I went to school for programming. I could make a website like, basic website like that. So I put an SMV calculator on brokegeniuses.com months ago, because I was, like I said, I was going to be like, you know what, I'll just calculate, women that a lot of these women are delusional or they just don't have good advice. And I just was like, you know what, I'll just make a calculator. Boom. Okay. So thing is that for a while, nobody bought it, but some woman, she bought it. I gave her a good report, a very honest report, and boom. I mean, let's just say a whole bunch of women bought that. And now I would be looked at as what? A dating coach. Or even I have advice. Like, people be out here taking L's. They be going to jail. They be going, doing all kind of crazy shit. If they just respected what I do, go buy that, consultation. Ask a Genius, 15 minutes. I already got it set up. I already got it, e-commerce, ready. Purchase 15 minutes consultation. I think it's like $5 or something like that. I'll answer whatever advice as far as what I know to what you're asking me for. If it's nothing that I can resolve, or if nobody else that I can, that has a certain level of expertise that I don't, I'll just pass it on to them. I mean, money back guarantee. If, let's just say, a whole bunch of people were like, all right, I need your advice. And the advice was just about women. I know, I know a lot about women. Okay. I don't really come off, I don't brag and stuff like that. If I bragged about all my interactions with women that I have, I could, niggas would probably want to shoot me, because I like I say, all I can say is I live like a king, but you would never know it, because I don't a gentleman doesn't tell, not too much, because these people a lot of times, if you told them the absolute truth of what actually goes on, it goes against the narrative of what you think that you actually are, right? So either they think you're not getting nothing, or if they find out, most of the time men think that you're not getting no women, no action with women. So if they find out anything differently or way to the extreme, that's when the hatred and the jealousy and stuff like that comes into play. Okay. Especially by quote unquote beta males and stuff like that, or just men in general, right? And even women. So but let's just say that a whole bunch of men and women came to me for advice, right? Then I will be classified as a dating coach. Do you really think that I'm going to turn them people away because it's quote unquote people on YouTube or on social media that's saying, oh, the broke genius, he all of a sudden a dating coach now? Do you think I'm going to return them people money back because I'm considered, I'm not worthy enough to be a dating coach in somebody's eyes or ears? You really think that I'm going to return that money? I'm going to just be broke living in a one-room shack because I don't fit the narrative of somebody as being a dating coach? And it just so happened all the people that purchase Ask a Genius, I mean, I'm getting bogged with time, and it's just so much that I have to up the price, and I probably have to quit my job. Let's just say that. And then all of the questions were relationship advice. I would not give a goddamn if that was the case. And I would not care one way or the other. If there's so be it, it's so be it. I'm not giving no refunds because I don't fit the narrative of somebody else or what they think I should be or not be. But the thing is that I'm very well defined as far as the things I know, and I look at things differently from a different vantage point and narrative. And yeah, I'm very deep and very intelligent. I ain't nobody different than anybody else as far as that is concerned. To me, to be honest with you, dating and mating advice, a lot of it is already out there. Okay. The way I look at things is just a little bit different in the regard of, I look at things as far as more of a pre-screening type of thing. But if anything is concerned, I'm more of a higher tier type of individual, such as a lot of the advice and stuff that I look forward to is for women of a higher caliber, not so much, on the lower caliber side. But the thing is that, I ain't returning no money. If that's my path and transactions are like that in the multitude, like in the words of Red Man, I can take all the smoke. I'll be that any day of the week. You can call me anything. You can call me everything under the book. I'll be that, and I ain't returning none of that money. And shoot, you just see me, hate on, hate on, bro. That's all I can say. But back to the tolerable women, basically that most women are tolerable. Okay, most women are definitely in the intolerable side, intolerable. Okay, like I say, the tolerable women, they do a lot of like bad behavior, but they just do it a lot less than the intolerable women. A lot of times, intolerable women, they become tolerable women. They either go to church, start going to church, start reading the Bible, start reading the Quran, start going to masjids and all kind of other organizations and shit like that. And they end up going from being intolerable to being tolerable. Okay. So, they kind of control certain emotions and behaviors. You even have women on here on YouTube that they know that they have, a lot of negative qualities, and they try to work on them, and they even, you have women that are quote unquote red pill or whatever, conscious women that they, basically are tolerable women. Okay. And like I say, they still do crazy shit every now and again and weird shit and stupid shit, but they're just, they're tolerable. Most guys actually, a lot of their complaints is the two of these women, intolerable women. Okay, you could even say let's go back to the subprime and prime women. One thing about me is that I be dropping bombs. Okay, I drop bombs, and it goes unnoticed. I don't necessarily get all of the credit for it, but I still be dropping bombs because how I know I drop bombs, because I'll be listening to you guys and you be talking about the same shit I'm talking about. You just be saying it in a different way and you don't give me no credit for it. And I'll be paying attention. Trust and believe. I'll be paying much attention to that. And you might not necessarily drop a comment or give me any praises, but you end up showing that you actually been listening to me and stuff like that. And if I can tell that you've been listening to me and using my talking points, you best believe other people can too. They can put 2 and 2 together and make 4. So I mean, a lot of times it's kind of like the artist that he doesn't get any credit to like later on in life. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times people write books and then they don't get credit to like later on because all of the it'd be people that be just not noticing or cock blocking or whatever the case may be. Because a lot of times hate is a team sport. Hate is a team effort. You know what I'm saying? So it's literally be crews of people that are aligned with a certain narrative of hate. But then all it takes is a few people to get outside of that line, pretty much. Like, for example, I see you women of the past in the comment section. All you need is a bunch of people like that, even Soul Shader and, a couple of other people that are my quality, subscribers and stuff like that. All you need is a few people like that and form like Voltron. And then next thing you know, boom. Okay. You got a lot of these haters that's going to pay attention to you. But the thing is that, like I said, men are competitive. I get it. But at the end of the day, you still could be fake. And you, at the end of the day, you just a fake ass dude. And one thing I enjoy chewing up is fake ass dudes and fake ass females too. I love it. I love to spot a fake ass dude and exploit them, or a fake ass woman, and just kind of like these plastic ass people out here. It's just very entertaining to fuck with them. Because like for example, on Facebook, it's people that I know through either like my family, friends of the family, and then I just spot how plastic they are, and then I just delete them. And then they like, because it's like people, I don't know what it is about social media. Some people that they wanna friend you just to watch you. They don't interact. I don't really like to do that with everybody. That's very plastic. On my page, my Broke Jeans Facebook page, I don't really care. But on my personal page, when I got plastic ass people that just watch, I go through a purge every now and again. But the tolerable woman, like I said, most women are tolerable. Okay, when we're talking about the level of submission, the levels of submission, a lot of women are just basically tolerable. Most women nowadays are just tolerable. Okay, they do a lot of negative, crazy behaviors, and you tolerate them, right? And I have to say, a lot of times these women, the reason why you tolerate them because they look good, right? They look good. They might have some nice knockers, nice ass, nice ass and some good, but JJ, quote unquote. So you tolerate them. A lot of dudes tolerate these dudes. These dudes tolerate these chicks because they basically have some type of preference for a big ass, big titties, nice vag. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they're sexual assets, right? And then next thing you know, after the relationship sours, you have a baby or two, then you're in, child support court, which is kangaroo court. Child support, as far as I know it, I've never been in it, hope to never go in it. But from what I hear about child support is it's kangaroo court. I ain't gonna go into kangaroo court. You look that up yourself, but it's a kangaroo court. Okay. So the thing is that, when it comes to a lot of these intolerable women, they very much are, the women that you would most likely be ending up in child support court, kangaroo court. Okay. And, I respect a lot of times. A lot of women, even men, don't come on my channel because, I'll chew them up and spit them out. They know it. They can listen to the lexicon in my words. They can hear what I say. And they don't really want to come on here for that bullshit because all them people that do the I'm right because I say so shit, that shit is dead. All that bullshit is dead. That shit is thrown in the trash can. All that type of right, I'm right because I say so, that's on somebody else's page. You could do that shit. They know they can't do that shit over here. Okay, all of that shit does not get tolerated. Just as they tolerate these, tolerable women and intolerable women that I mentioned before, because basically, the type of women, the type of men that tolerate these women are the men that, instead of them wanting to basically strike out or for the night or for the week or whatever, to get out of the sex drought, they'll deal with the intolerable woman. And then next thing you know, these same guys, their cars, keyed up, they got paint on it, or the car is set on fire, or these chicks trying to run them over with their car. This is the type of stuff, this is the type of woman, what I'm saying? Intolerable and even tolerable, because like I said, a lot of tolerable women were intolerable. Okay. So Now that we got that pass, we got the tolerable, intolerable. We're gonna go to even the rarest women, okay, which is agreeable women. Okay, agreeable women are pretty much women that, you know, a lot of guys, especially in the black community, we think that agreeable women are submissive women. Okay, we actually think that agreeable means submission. Even women, they look at women that are agreeable. It's like, girl, why you agreeing to everything he do? Why you let him run all over you and just do whatever he want to do? You don't have no say so in a relationship. And they like, women, agreeable woman is like, we both like the same things. This is the type of woman that they both like the same local sports team. They both like playing poker. They have poker nights, where they basically, they got their girlfriends over, and then they're bringing chips. Their job is to bring the chips and the dips and the wings, and basically the other women, because they're most likely, they don't have any understanding because their mother and father dynamic was totally trashed, so they're on the tolerable side and intolerable. They look at agreeable women, which is not even submissive women, just agreeable, meaning y'all might have met at this, y'all have the same job, might have the same career, might have the same type of family dynamic or history, and y'all just agree with each other. Women that are agreeable, because it's so messed up, and primarily in a black community, agreeable woman is damn near a submissive woman. Looked at as a submissive woman, even though she is not even submissive. She just agrees to, like, be happy with her dude. She's happy with whoever she's with. They both agree on personal decisions as well as financial decisions. I mean, that's and have common interests. That's the dynamic of an agreeable woman. And then a lot of times it's not that many arguments when you both agree with shit. Okay, I'm out playing basketball, okay, do you want me to join in? Because I played basketball in high school. Do you need me to run with you? Like, freaking Love and Basketball. That's like one of my all-time greatest movies. Black love movies, right? Because I played basketball. Everybody know me personally. Basketball at one time was my religion. The character Sanaa Lathan in that movie, she wasn't no submissive woman. She was just agreeable. Now, in the end, you can make the argument that, yeah, she moved over to the submissive side when she got older and shit like that. Her playing days were like, kind of wrapping down. She was maybe kind of creeped down to that level. But she just pretty much, they both played basketball. Okay, they had common interests. She was nothing but just an agreeable woman. But in the black community, like I said, because it's so imbalanced. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of reason why there's an imbalance, and it does not necessarily 100% have to do with black people. Okay. We all know, what I'm saying, the dynamics and what the construct is as far as opposition and everything like that. I mean, by no means is this not the narrative.
The shit's chess. It ain't checkers.
You know what I'm saying? That's definitely going down. But the thing is that when it comes to the agreeable woman, okay, the agreeable woman is very rare. Okay, very, very rare. I would just have to say, what's going on, Soul Shader? It's almost like I said, most because it's so imbalanced in the black community, that agreeable woman is looked at as like a submissive woman. Like, why are you agreeing with this guy and what he says? Like, why are you going to the grocery shopping together? and then he picks all of the groceries, and then you ask him for his input. Like, I mean, that, like I said, a lot of, because it's so imbalanced, right? That's how it is. But like I said, agreeable woman is not even submissive. Submissive women, I would have to say, are, because of nowadays and because of society, they don't have to be submissive. It's no reason for a woman to really, unless she really wants to be, she doesn't have to be submissive to, a man. Okay. Now, other countries, submissive is a matter of life and death. Okay. And, so when it comes to submissive women, most of the submissive women, I have to say, is from they're groomed to be submissive. And also, it's a dynamic of religion or theology that has to do with why they're submissive. Not in all cases, but most women that I have to say, from looking at my own peer group as well as, family peer group, the women that are submissive are very religious. They even part of an organization where they're very religious, or whatever the case may be. Religion has something to do with the dynamic of why they're submissive. Okay. So with that being said, religion aside, is some women that are not necessarily religious. They're, the quote unquote woke woman, right? Or conscious woman, or red pill woman. She might be more submissive than a woman that is not, right? But that is definitely something to do with that. Now, below that, and I guess I could put that, because you also have the dynamic within submission. You have the woman that is pretty much, you could just say, is kind of like she is okay with basically being kind of even in a slave dynamic. Okay. A lot of what pimps, pretty much, try to, basically their whole dynamic of that is the woman is doing selfless acts for her man, right? Bringing back money for sexual acts. That's pretty much a slave. She's okay with being a slave to that guy. Now, a lot of times it's a dark side to this. Okay. It's a dark side where women actually will do things for her man that involved murder, right? For example, I play chess, the queen, right? Her queen is the most dangerous piece on the board, right? Well, it's many cases. Shout out to Cardi B. She mentioned, okay, yeah, I was out there selling tail, and I set men up for other dudes. Okay. It's a situation where even when you talk about spies, right? You talk about espionage. A lot of women, they're used for espionage. Okay. I mean, I don't know. You could just watch any James Bond movie, but when it comes to the slave, you also have, situations where, like, for example, women have done acts of violence to free up their guy. Like, for example, I'll never forget a news story where a woman shot up a judge. She shot up a judge, and basically to free up her boyfriend out of jail, out of basically going to prison. She shot up the judge. This happened somewhere down south, and yeah, I mean, that's a woman that is basically a slave to a man. Now, that's a negative side. Now, I guess in a medium note, you have the women that they'll be able to, this is going towards 50 Shades of Grey type of conversation where, a woman to be okay to be chained up or even put on a collar to walk around in the grocery store or walk outside. She's happy to be this man's slave. Okay. That's what I mean. That's a medium note, but just even in a more of a just common personal interest. Here's the dynamic. Women, you're either in a dynamic of a relationship, you're a master or a slave. I'll just talk about I'll just say, as far as I'm an old school IT guy. It used to, all you newbies, all you people that, I'm gonna show my tail a little bit. Like, you guys just put in a hard drive. Oh, here's your hard drive. There you go. Because all of it is SATA. It's all uniform. Well, I've been in IT for over 14 years. So when I started, they were going into SATA, as far as the hard drive. But before that, you used to have to connect the IDE cables and set up. If you had two hard drives, you had to have a master and a slave. And the slave was under the master. So that's the same thing in a relationship. A lot of times, men, because women are so their power dynamic is so different. You look at nature, the woman is, most cases, other than a hyena clan and other aspects of nature, the woman is the slave in that situation. She is the sub in that dynamic, and even just as far as nature, how we were born, how we were raised. I mean, even a lower, weaker guy can beat up another female. I mean, women and men are different. Like, I would never tell my daughters to be just like men. Okay, the difference between men and women. Let me turn my light on for a second, and I'm gonna wrap this up. The difference between men and women is basically men have might, and more, and it's different. Some men have more might than others. I mean, basically, a lot of times men just pretend that we just can't just haul off and just utterly explode your face in, because you could go to jail. So we pretend and put on an act. I mean, I'm one of the greatest actors of all time. Okay, I've been acting for years. A lot of time I pretend as though I'm weaker because I'm in a situation. Like, for example, when a lot of times, I've had problems where a lot of times I have problems with people because they expect that I was weak, but I was putting on a pretend show. Like, even a lot of guys, even if you go to work, you pretend as if you're a certain way, but we all hear the conversation. Catch me outside. Okay, catch me outside of the work environment. I'm not going to act like I do while I'm at work. Okay, but the thing is, when you're at work, you put on a show. Well, in a relationship with a lot of times with women, they get delusional. Guys pretend as if we're weak to whatever, get sexual access. We pretend to because we're trying to not even get in a relationship where it sours, because a lot of men are afraid of divorce, alimony, child support. We put on a pretentious act to come off as if things are different, but in all actuality, that's what most guys do. They just pretend. And women think that this person is a slave, or he's a simp or something like that, or a pushover. A lot of times guys just do that because we in this society, the reason, like I say, I started it off by talking about how this society is. This society, the reason why you have all of this type of behavior towards women, the feminism and everything like that, is because it's supported. The judicial system, the government is supported with this. Because, for example, I have to go back to Pakistan. You come outside your mouth as a woman, you can get physically punished by another man, especially if that man is your husband. In a lot of cases, you're forced to be a husband and wife dynamic in their country, because they follow Sharia law. So you can't just run off at your mouth and blah, blah, blah. You can literally, you basically beat your wife and it's in the Quran as well. You can totally beat your wife. You know, at the same time, yeah, you supposed to. Also, I'll just say, 100% is actually in the Quran. A man has to 100% take care of his wife financially in the Quran. But a lot of women will be like, oh yeah, the you know, Muslim guys, they do this, but then they don't absolutely know, such as someone that, you know, that was something that I was really into at one time. They don't understand. Oh yeah, it's also a give and take with that dynamic. Yeah, we'll 100% financially take care of you, but okay, you get out of line, we can handle you in it's in the Quran as far as we can handle you accordingly. We can basically whip out a stick and beat the shit out of you when you act, you know, up, you know. So it's like, but the thing is that yeah, different countries, they you know, they don't allow that type of behavior to be set aside like that, to go against nature, you know. And a lot of times men just pretend as if we're not something, you know, we're something on a lower tier because you can go to jail for that in this country. Okay. And a lot of guys, okay, another reason why a lot of women don't they like the quote unquote aggressive guy, Pookie and Ray Ray or whatever, because Pookie and Ray Ray don't care about going to jail. Now, if most men just did not care about going to jail because the threat is jail, right? If most men didn't care about jail, then yeah, they just, every woman get out of pocket, absolutely aggressive towards women, and boom, you know. But because basically, like I say, this government is supported by this, from the judicial system all the way down. That's why you have a lot of men like myself that are some of the greatest actors known to man. I, you know, if I'm in a situation where, like, for example, I'm living with family, I'll put on an act where I'm this submissive house slave, and then when I get myself together, I'm gone. And then they like, damn, I thought he was this, you know, super peon, broke ass bum simp. No, I was just putting on an act to please your, you know, weird ass behavior, you know. But that's the thing. But as far as women, as far as, you know, that is concerned, women naturally are supposed to be, you know, I have to say it, slaves to men. At one time, let's go back to the Cro-Magnon cave days, or even hunter-gatherer days. Women were at the full bequest of men. Okay. Even most women, they have a desire to be slaves. They absolutely love the dynamic. And I'll have to say, this is definitely not going to be on the public domain. If you're watching this, you're grateful to be watching this. This will not be on the public domain. This will be on Patreon. So you know, yeah, this ain't free 99. So even still, but the thing is that under the bequest of men, women had to be in that regard as, you know, a slave to the kingdom of men, basically. So I mean, that's all I have with this you know, topic. You know, like I said, I'll leave this around, but I mean, I'm gonna look at the comments and see what's going on. Okay, I don't know if you're still around. Okay, you let's see here. Bought 300 shares of Ford. Man, kudos to you. Very much. You know, I definitely was watching Ford. Ford has definitely crossed my eye in the last couple weeks. That ain't nothing but, that's what I'm saying. You know, somebody is paying attention, man. When you pay attention, you ain't got no choice, man. A lot of times with to make money, because a lot of time, here's the thing about why I call myself the broke genius. You know, people in high places, they know who I am. They know this smart dude that's from Chicago. They know who I am. I mean, it's so tripped out. I'm gonna tell you this. when I talk and make decisions and stuff like that, people in high places, they start making decisions. Because the thing about it is the intellectual class or the genius class is very much a part of every society. No matter if the person is got money or not. Now I'm trying to correlate things to make money, okay? And I'm definitely I'm on your ass, mother, Mr. Postman. I mean, I'm on it, boy. I mean, I don't do nothing but a lot of times follow my own advice, and I'm on it. Trust me, I'm on it. I definitely have my challenges, but as you can see, as the backdrop didn't change. You know, hey, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely capitalizing on things as concerned. I'm following my own advice as well. So don't trust and believe. Trust and believe. People pretend as if I ain't shit, but I ain't nothing but a king in the making. I'm not even in the making. I'm I'm above a king, man. In many regards, man. I in many times in my life I've achieved God mode. I'll be honest with you right now. I'm in God mode. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm in God mode right now. If you watching what I do right now and stuff like that, and everybody else what they doing, they following a certain standard. I'm above that standard right now, and I've been, and yeah. So, the thing is that yeah, man, I'm definitely making moves and turning heads because, I mean, I just, I'll brag a little bit, but the thing is that definitely I'm above a lot of things in certain regards. I'm trying to, trying to deal with it, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful because you got them haters, man. And like I say, like when I was coming up, everybody was fighting, but these niggas now are shooting. These are some single mother kids of single mothers. These guys are from single mothers. These intolerable women, and they don't know how to knuckle up because even if they know how to knuckle up, they get embarrassed just like a bitch, and then they want to shoot you. They want to point the finger and shoot you. They roll with crews of dudes that are basically from intolerable or tolerable women, baby mama terrorists. These are children of baby mama terrorists, and basically what females and German shepherds, hyenas, and then they can't take a punch. They can't take a fight. You got dudes on YouTube say, "Man, I ain't fighting. These are the products of these baby mama terrorists, these intolerable women. And when they dudes hate so hard, they see somebody coming up, they want to shoot them. They want to shoot up their car and shit like that. So you got to be very careful. But yeah, I ain't even no king in this shit. I'm on a higher level. So when I speak, kings and queens listen to me. They know I exist. So I mean, I'm gonna just say that, but yeah, definitely get the money because at the end of the day, fuck that poor righteous teacher shit. A lot of the great, poor righteous teachers, they died broke. All their followers was just downloading their DVDs and basically copying them and selling that shit and trying to make money off of what they were saying and not supporting them. No, fuck all that shit. Fuck that poor righteous teacher bullshit. I ain't trying to be none of that. So at the end of the day, like I say, I'm God in any religion. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's enough of me boasting. Y'all probably see me for another 2 or 3 weeks. Peace out.